nobody is talking out their backside when you say, yeah, they're a Super Bowl contender. Like, we can stop with the whole, like, oh, the Patriots a playoff team? Yeah. Do you think they can make a deep run? Yes, they can. And now they've showed you they belong in the Super Bowl conversation by beating a potential NFC Super Bowl contender on the road. And don't let the 5-point win, even though that's good enough, throw you off. Like, they were up 12 and just let the Bucs score. This is a damn good football team, and I am placing zero limits on this team the rest of the way.
Absolutely. And they're doing more. They're showing more. They're playing as well as anybody in the AFC, along with the Broncos, I'd put in there. And we'll see what happens with the Ravens if they're resurgent under Lamar. But absolutely. And the more, need everybody, which I feel like has been a constant message all year for Vrabel, whether it was back to Ramondre Stevenson with the fumbles, or Borregales, or, now you have no Stevenson and you have Booty out. And he's like, we're going to need everybody. And today, your rookies, who we've all been waiting for, stepped up and made 3 massive plays. That's why you drafted them, and that's why people were excited about them. And their guy did too. Ibuka was good too. Like, they have Godwin and those guys. Yeah, I didn't think Gonzo had a great game. I thought Gonzo was sort of middling, like neither thumb category, neither thumbs up nor thumbs down. But I thought Ibuka stepped up for them as a young player. Oh, they ran the ball a little bit on you. You allowed a 50-yard rusher, but God forbid, you found different ways. You found different, like Woodson, little thing. That hit from Woodson on Otten late in the game just lit him up, made sure that wasn't going to be a catch. That's like a blip on the radar of this game, because this was like a Rocky 15-round fight. It was so fun. I was
just going to ask you if you I sort of said it as you were jumping on and joining, but I'd like to go further with the analogy here. Like, growing up, every time there was like a prize fight or there was a big fight, whether it was on HBO, most usually HBO, or maybe it was a pay-per-view, they were always on Saturday nights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you wouldn't miss it. You'd invite your friends over. Yep. It's Tyson versus blank or Holmes and whatnot. Like, this was the first like legitimate heavyweight fight that I remember watching on a Sunday at 1 p.m.
Awesome. Yep.
It felt like two teams and the Patriots didn't even score first. The Bucs did. They did the Patriots were on script because they often give up touchdowns or scores, especially on the opening drive. Bucs carved them up straight down the field. The Patriot AI started learning and figured out exactly what the Bucs were doing, and they adapted and only gave up 16 points the rest of the way. But really, it kind of felt like they only gave up a touchdown and a field goal until the very end. Ibuka was great on that opening drive, especially. But man, the way they turned around and just started hitting so hard. Did you think Woodson was capable of a pop like that?
I wasn't sure, but I know it's part of his game now. I thought he was more of a coverage, finesse, tackle guy. But that's a big hit. Like, there was the hit on, you should have heard me swearing watching my TV. I thought that was the definition of unnecessary roughness when Drake Maye got hit on the sideline. In a league where you want quarterbacks to be stars, if that's Patrick Mahomes, we're having, commissioner-led investigations. But Drake Maye, and it was the 3rd straight play, because he got hit by Vita Vea, then he got hit by the number 0 dude, then he rolls out, and he's kind of wrapped up, and 23 lights him up, and then, of course, 23 is the guy that gets the pick a couple plays later in the back of the end zone. Yeah. But this was like, there was just play after play. My mind was just like, oh, my God, I don't know if we have 3 hours. I don't know if we have enough time on the postgame show. All the things we need to talk about, because, we're going to fixate on the big plays from Kyle Williams and TreVeyon Henderson, because those are awesome. And I was worried there at the end until TreVeyon, it looked like you were going to have another bad fourth quarter where you can't move the ball and score the points you need to until he breaks away for a touchdown. But beyond the rookies, you mix in, I thought Diggs and Hollins were awesome. So it was like you got the big plays from the rookies, but when you needed some plays, it was Diggs and Hollins, the old standby guys that were kind of getting their work. I thought it was a fascinating football game for the Patriots. I really did.
Yeah, and look, if it was 21-16 and you don't get the touchdown from TreVeyon, and let's say the Bucs make you punt, and with 1 minute and 2 seconds left, Baker executes Baker Mayfield time, goes down the field, and throws a touchdown with 7 seconds left to Cade Otton, and I can't believe they lost that blanking game. But that would have sucked, especially for those in attendance or any Pats fans. But wouldn't a lot of what you wanted to prove today have been accomplished if the Patriots lost like in the last second? Like, they would have proved that they're a contender and they belong on the same damn field.
Yeah, I think I said to you on Thursday, barring craziness, I didn't think there was going to be a bad loss here. You could lose, and it was like, okay, tough spot. You went on the road. That's a Super Bowl contender. They're 6-2. That's an MVP quarterback. You came up a little short. Yeah, I think you could have. We would have all been upset and disappointed and pointing at all the various things you did to help them to your demise. But yeah, I think you could have had, I don't know if we want to call it a moral victory, whatever, acceptable victory. Like, I think you could, but hell, we don't have to talk about that. Now, that being said, I have a crap ton of nitpicks that I can pull from this game. Like, you mentioned two of them right there. The on-script, the other team scripts it, and for some reason they drive it right down your throat and score a touchdown. And then their inability at times to put teams away and move the ball in the fourth quarter. It seems like, third quarters they're hot and they're going to score. Fourth quarters, I don't know what happens. Where does that go? My biggest nitpick, honestly, though, is postgame. Why are we covering up this idea that they clearly didn't try to move the ball on first down? I mean, they clearly didn't.
Yeah, and why would that be such a big deal? Like, they said on the broadcast, I'm watching on my phone. Everyone else, wherever you were, your bar, the fan cave, the stadium, it looked like, and they discussed on TV, like, this is, Romo was having a Romo-gasm about, like, Mike Vrabel always loves to be so aggressive.
Yep.
And here he is, like, doing his thing, and it's a ballsy call, Jim. We'll see if it works out for him. Like, this was the definition of it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. And it did. It worked out in the end. But 100% he was taking a knee so as to not give Baker the ball.
He told, what's her name, Tracy, at halftime.
Tracy Wolf.
Wolf at halftime. He said, quote, "We wanted to end the half with the ball in our hands," when she asked about that situation. He made it clear the priority there was to end the half with the ball in their hands. Now, they also wanted to score, which they were able to do both.
Probably should have said that, too.
Yes, but he kind of admitted there, and then post-game, he got all squirrely and just immediately goes right to the fourth down play and a great catch and players over plays and and then Drake says, Vita Vea, it's tough to. You didn't try to score. I've seen you, Drake Maye, for long enough now. That at first I thought it was a bad snap. I actually thought there was like a weird snap and maybe he couldn't, get the ball and therefore get his footing. And then you're right. They didn't try to score, which is fine. It worked. But why are we like being weird about it now? Why are we not being honest? Like, that annoys me because it also worked out for you. I could understand the squirreliness if you had been stuffed there and didn't end up scoring. You did. So it worked. You played it perfectly. It was like you executed it. Was it close? Yeah. Is there a fine line between ballsy and stupid? Abso-damn-lutely. But to the winners go the spoils, and you won.
Yeah, it's all right. There is a significant portion of me that believes that tomorrow on the Greg Hill Show or at some point this week, Mike Vrabel is going to admit, like, yeah, I just didn't want to, we wanted to all talk about the way that it went, like, and just sort of like make sure we were in lockstep on that because, if other people didn't know or I didn't want to rub it in or like seem cocky or whatever, like he'll admit to it at some point. I hope so. I hope so because to me, that was the definition of brass footballs. Like, you know what? Like, I'm so confident in our ability to score from the one, even with a face full of Vita Vea, and damn, that guy can play. We're going to get this done. He's massive.
Dude.
He's awesome. He's a great football player. But yeah, I'd admit it and just say, like, if it blew up, it's on me. Blame me, but it didn't.
And if you remember, and I'd have to go back and look at the exact date and circumstances, that Tom Brady, Bill Belichick Patriots did this against the Seahawks at Gillette Stadium. And they managed the clock, and they didn't end up scoring. They got stuffed. They got stopped on fourth down.
Back in 2016, yeah.
Sure, you give me the date. I'll take your word for it.
It was right after the election. Yeah, I remember exactly.
It's okay. Like, there's, and maybe he's protecting Stretch. I don't know. Maybe it was Stretch's idea, and he didn't want to feel like he's throwing Stretch under a bus. I have no idea why they would lie, but clearly they were worried about the clock. And most importantly, they scored. They scored the touchdown. They played it perfectly. So give them credit. Dangerous? Sure. Like Tom Cruise. Am I dangerous? Yeah, I'm dangerous. Like, absolutely. The whole goddamn thing. But they won the game. So take the victory lap.
That's right, Vrabel.
Don't lie.
That's right, Stretch, man. I am dangerous.
Right.
Yeah, own this. Like, hey, I made a ballsy call. Like, Andy, in the fourth quarter, it is funny. Like, they do really play their best football in the third quarter. It's kind of remarkable how they come out with halftime adjustments to spare and double the energy that they brought to the field in the first half. But then in the fourth quarter, I don't know, they don't get tentative. They don't play with the same sort of consistency. Now, maybe that's a hallmark of a young team and a group that is a group that was only assembled and has just finally gotten to know each other because a lot of them haven't shared the same locker room and the same field and the same charter for too long together. Vrabel did make a ballsy call in the fourth that backfired on him. They went for it on 4th and 5 from the 45 and they missed. So
absolutely. I also, I am a big enough man or a small enough man, however you choose to view me, to admit when I am wrong. I thought it was a bad call to run the ball on the TreVeyon Henderson touchdown there at the end. It was, I think, 2nd and 9, and I was like, run a boot, do something to get Drake out of the pocket. He can either run, and the run looked like it was going to be stuffed right up until he went 70 yards and he was crossing the field asking, Coach, should I score? I'm so far ahead of the defense. Do you want me to score or do you want me to sit down here? I can do either. Whatever you choose, Coach. Just let me know.
I just want to see that on Instagram so badly.
It's awesome.
And can we now officially say TreVeyon Henderson has arrived?
No. I want more. He had 2 big plays. I want more.
What?
Yeah, I want more. I want him
consistency?
to I
touchdowns?
No. It's not the touchdowns. It's the consistency. I want him to be, and this isn't fair, so I don't want to throw this name out there because this isn't. I'm not going to do it.
That's okay. I'm not. No. It's sports radio. It's okay. We can review this comment tomorrow on afternoons.
Okay, so I want him not. Again, it's not fair. Jahmyr Gibbs, I want him to be electric. I want him to be a part of the offense all the time, not just 1 or 2 big plays.
No, that's fine. That's fine. In a best-case scenario, he is a lot like – yeah, sure, he was taken in the 2nd round, Jahmyr Gibbs in the 1st.
That's what I mean.
And a lot of people thought the Lions overdrafted Jahmyr Gibbs when they took him 12th overall a couple of years back. But give this kid time, and he may get the feel for how to be a home run or a threat to be electric on every play. He's not right. I bet you we could do a breakdown on any channel, social media, whatever. Someone's going to do it, and you're going to see he's not running the same. That he looks different, and the reason why is because he's probably playing differently. He's playing with a bigger head of steam. He's playing with more confidence now. I think he's starting to understand the pro game better.
I don't know if it's more confidence or the pressure was removed in a sense because, their phrase, we all we got, we all we need. He's all they got in the backfield. Because after that one Dearness Johnson run, I was like, I don't know that we want to see Dearness Johnson anymore. He just was thoroughly unimpressive.
I'm not too Dearness to see you carry the ball anymore. No. Please put it away.
Maybe that emboldened TreVeyon Henderson be like, they need me, so I'm just going to go do my thing. But I think my point is 70-yard runs, like these real long ones, game changers, those are not sustainable. What I want to see from him is more of like the 15 to 23-yard runs with some regularity. There was one in the first half, actually. I think there was, wasn't there one? Oh, it was a 3rd and 9 call. And, of course, Hello Friends and Skechers were all like, oh, Jim, what a call by Josh. Got to figure he'll just figure this game out. And blah, blah. Yeah, 3rd and 9 and running wide with Henderson was a good call because you weren't getting squat up the middle. And that's when I saw I think he's getting it, Andy. I think he's finally figuring it out. And those are the ones that I want to see with more regularity. Because, again, you're not going to have a million 70-yard runs. Today was a special day for him. Today was a special day for their day 2 draft picks, quite honestly. And I would include Wilson in there, but on the bad side. Little preview of the thumbs down. Wilson will be on the thumbs down. He did not have a great day. Some of it was Vita Vea. Some of it was him. It was just not a great day for the young
That's a
guard.
tall order. That's a tall
Not
task.
That tall, just more wide.
Just more, okay. That is
a wide order.
It's a wide order to handle him. Like Garrett Bradbury, you want to talk about some people that deserve 2 Advils and a Budweiser on the airplane home. My God. And to think that, maybe Thursday is lining up perfectly. And you don't want to sleep on the Jets because they played well today. They scored some points against the Browns. A house money game for them today, a house money rest of the season because everyone has written them off as winning 0 games the rest of the way. They could potentially be dangerous in what could be a trap night Thursday affair at Gillette Stadium. And the whole we'll get to this later on in the show, the whole entirety of this Sunday makes no sense. This is, the Matrix is broken. We're in the upside down. I don't know if this is real life or a sim at this point because the NFL is all over the place. But for a couple of guys that have been talking, playing, living, and just consuming all things football for the majority of their lives, this almost kind of makes it more fun, just the NFL being out of control this year.
I love it. And they love it. They absolutely love the parity and the uncertainty and all the teams that are in it. And they love a team like the Patriots because there's nothing they like to tout more than, a team that picked in the top 5 picks in the draft is now contending for a Super Bowl. That's what our league is all about. It 1 year you can change everything, and we're not baseball where everybody gets mad that the Dodgers are going to win it all. No, they absolutely love this. And I know we love it more so in New England because we're obnoxious and we're entitled town and all of those different things. And we have Drake Maye, who I believe I saw making the rounds on the socials that Drake Maye is now officially the front runner with some betting apps
according to the sports books, Drake Maye is now your MVP front runner.
How you like dem apples, baby? Because Drake Maye. And quick aside about Drake Maye, did you notice that he apparently, thankfully, was not the advisor to TreVeyon Henderson because he was telling TreVeyon Henderson from like 40 yards away to get down, get down, get down. So he was not on the same page with the coach. So there's a nitpick. They need to get on the same page.
But it was a logical gesture on behalf of the quarterback to just run the clock out. But but Mike Vrabel, Andy, the same coach that says, I don't care how we played. I don't care how close we came to almost losing that game. You earned the win. A win is a win. It's hard to win in this league. So you're going to go ahead and celebrate that. The same coach that yelled at Drake Maye, hey, Drake, how many touchdowns you score last year? Get down there and celebrate with your offense. Mike Vrabel is thinking, TreVeyon Henderson, how many touchdowns you scored in the NFL? 2. Get down there. Go get yourself a 3rd touchdown. That's fine. Because if we give up a 12-point lead with 53 seconds left, we deserve to lose. That is the same Mike Vrabel. Consistency, thy name is Vrabel.
And I know we're probably up against it or coming up on it here. I did want to say, though, the Drake Maye answer, and we'll talk to Drake Maye tomorrow. It's been in the 2 o'clock hour lately. We'll see where it goes on Patriots
Thank God
Monday.
He's also going to – we can play may or may not because for a while there I was wondering if he was going to want to play our little game, and I think he may.
Yeah, I was a little worried on that. When it was pouring and his balls were kind of sailing and all over the field, I was a little worried about the start, but then we brought it home. But I loved I think it may have been his last comment of his press conference where he just started describing everything and he said exhausted, heat, nerves, and there's nothing like this game. Like that feeling of highs and lows and what that 60 minutes of football is. And of course, it's easier to say that when you're Drake Maye. Baker Mayfield's probably a little pissed off about the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs and the exhaustion. But that was true. Like that was we talk about teachable moments or learning experiences, and sure, that red zone throw might be a teachable moment for Drake Maye. Maybe that was, but this whole game for a team that wants to go somewhere, for a team that Vrabel said at the trade deadline, right, with his actions, they're in this for the long haul. They're trying to build a consistent winner. This game was huge for that.
Oh, they have built. My God, I mean, that right now, this team is tied for the best record in the AFC. And the Colts barely hung on for dear life in Germany against the Falcons, who you kind of hung on for dear life for again in America last week. And the Broncos barely beat the Raiders. Don't get into the whole thing about how the Raiders beat you. No, the Patriots, it's equal footing at this point now. Anybody can beat anybody in the AFC at any time, and that includes your Patriots. And as we go to break, Andy, 2 things I want to share. One, a text message from a mutual friend of ours, Mike Young, who runs the Tailgater 2000 crew in Foxborough. I've been to nearly 50 away games. Never have I experienced the amount of Patriots Nation celebration walking out of an opposing team's stadium. What an unbelievable experience this was. And you love to read that. And then from the socials, Los Talks Pats, one of our favorite aggregators out there who does such an awesome job bringing information to the masses and mass holes. The Patriots are 5-0 on the road, 8-2 overall on a 7-game win streak and first place in the AFC East. Oh, and the Buffalo Bills got their ass whooped by the Miami Dolphins. How you like that, Pats fans?
Can I say something arrogantly idiotic at this point?
Oh, now is the time to do it, please.
Should I get worried that they're in line to host a playoff game when they're actually better on the road? Maybe they should lose a couple so they can play the playoff games on the road.
If you're concerned like Andy Hart that the New England Patriots need to play the playoff games on the road like we are, devastation could be in our future. 617-779-7937. I'm giving out the phone number, but there's not a damn line open. The lines are jammed like I'm sure they are at the Sundown Rodeo Bar in Tampa, where Pats Nation and the Tampa Bay Pats Fan Club and so many others are celebrating tonight. Pats fans, rejoice, exalt. Let all of that insufferability permeate the cool, crisp, rainy New England air. Your Patriots victors 28-23 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.